Are you ready?
Activate.
Sequence start. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, ignition.
Well, good evening, everyone, and welcome to Shadows in the Dark. I am your host, Jeremiah Greer, and we're going to have a great show tonight. We're going to have a lot of fun tonight, actually. We've got a couple things planned for this show, but first we're going to be welcoming our guest, Patrick Burns, here in about 10-15 minutes. But the second half of the show, well, we're going to do something a little new, something we really haven't done, and I think it's going to be a blast. What are we going to do? We're going to have a quiz show. That's right. We're going to get some contestants on the line, have a little quiz show, keep score, win some prizes, have a lot of fun. So we'll give the details of that during the second portion of the show. But I tell you what, it is going to be a blast. So make sure you stick around for that. But I tell you what, let's get to some news first. And some interesting stories here. I guess I better look at the news stories and not the quiz questions. I don't want to give those away, do I? But here we go. What is going on around the world? Well, farmers in an eastern Indian state have asked their unmarried daughters to plow parched fields naked in a bid to embarrass the weather gods to bring some badly needed monsoon rain. Witnesses said the naked girls in Bihar state plowed the fields and chanted ancient hymns after sunset to invoke the gods as elderly village women helped the girls drag the plows. Villagers believed their acts would get the weather gods badly embarrassed, who in turn would ensue bumper crops by sending rains. This is the most trusted social custom in the area, and villagers have vowed to continue their practice until it rains very heavily. India this year suffered its worst start to the vital monsoon rains in 8 decades, causing drought in some states. Now that is an unusual custom. Well, Paul Welliner's family found the perfect marker for his grave: 2 blue plastic seats from the Three Rivers Stadium auction. Welliner, a lifelong football fan and a Pittsburgh Steelers season ticket holder for 42 years, died unexpectedly on March 16th. Welliner's son, Paul, and widow, Mary Ann, bought 3 pairs of stadium seats for $2,100 at an auction and knew they had found the perfect gravestone. So we go, I enjoy unusual tombstones. I guess that one wouldn't be pretty good. Where you go, here's a question for you. What's 6 feet wide, weighs 440 pounds, and can ruin your whole day? Well, if you're a Japanese fisherman, the answer is Nomura's jellyfish. The gigantic creature can wreak havoc on fishing nets and their contents, destroying the nets and poisoning the catch. Even nuclear power plants aren't safe. Reports describe the jellyfish being sucked into pumps that draw seawater to cool the reactors. The jellyfish have shown up in Japanese waters in increasing numbers in the recent years. The population surge of 2005 was particularly bad, affecting the salmon, yellowtail, and anchovy fisheries. But the mass of them gathering now in the Yellow Sea off China is the biggest ever, and eventually ocean currents will deliver them to Japan. The reasons for the exploding population are not clear. Theories range from agricultural runoff, overfishing, and global warming. As for fighting the jellyfish, methods are few and far between. In fact, when under attack, the creatures release millions of eggs, all with the potential to grow more jellyfish. There have been efforts to make the most of this by creating jellyfish products. Some of these are edible, including ice cream and even cookies. The jellyfish are also a source of collagen, which can be used in cosmetics. However, the jellyfish invasion in store for Japan this time is likely to deliver more raw materials than any such efforts could possibly keep up with. The result could be devastation for much of Japan's fishing industry. Now that, millions of eggs, if attacked, that is just amazing. Well, a team of archaeologists using sonar technology to scan the seabed have discovered a graveyard of 5 pristine ancient Roman shipwrecks off the small Italian island of Ventanini. The trading vessels dating from the 1st century BC to the 5th century AD lie more than 100 meters underwater and are among the deepest wrecks discovered in the Mediterranean in recent years. The ships appear to have been heading for safe anchorage, but never made it. The vessels were transporting wine from Italy, prized fish sauce from Spain and North Africa, and a mysterious cargo of metal ingots from Italy, possibly to be used in the construction of statues or weaponry. The wrecks revealed a pattern of trade in the empire. First, Rome exported its produce to its expanding provinces, but gradually it began to import from them more and more of the things it once produced. In Roman times, Ventotene, something along those lines, was used to exile disgraced Roman noble women. The Emperor Augustus sent his daughter Julia there because of her adultery, and during the 20th century, Italian dictator Mussolini used the remote island as a prison for political opponents. Due to their depth, the ships have lain untouched for hundreds of years, but the increasing popularity of deep water diving posed a threat to the Mediterranean's archaeological treasures. Well, here's another bit in archaeological news. Well, now I'm all of a sudden tongue-tied. That is just good. How many times have I said that word on the show and I can't even get it out? Archaeologists found a 4,000-year-old settlement around Saint Clodois, a monastery in Trauja. The scientists believe that the ruins date from 2,000 to 15,000 years BC or from the middle of the Bronze Age. According to the Cyprian Archaeological Institute, I'm sorry, I'm just tickled now. According to the Archaeological Institute, most likely the discovered village preceded the ancient Temesal, which existed in the region before 1000 BC. Doing the diggings were students and professors from Cyprus, Canada, and the USA. With the approval of the Archaeological Institute of Cyprus, the works on the site are done by the University of Arizona under the supervision of Stephen Falconer and Patricia Fall. This year, the diggings are done in the west part of Trauja village, where the ruins of some houses are found, which are situated in a big common yard. From the finding, historians conclude that the population had actively focused on farming, cultivating grains and bronze, and they had advanced ceramics. All the findings lead to the conclusion that the settlement was at its peak during the Bronze Area, and it was preceding the birth of the central Cyprian cities, which scientists are dating to the late Bronze Area. Studying Trauja will help scientists explain the reasons why the Cyprian cities were created and had been developing. Archaeologists hope that the new diggings in the west part of the settlement will reveal findings from human life and actively from earlier periods of the Bronze Era. I'm sorry, I got tears in my eyes. I can't even read. Can't even speak, apparently. So we've got one more story here for you tonight. Well, of course, we all know the 40th anniversary of the moon landing was just this past Monday. So 40 years after Neil Armstrong and Buzz Aldrin stepped down from their Eagle landing craft and took the first human steps on the surface of the moon, Google is launching a new tool designed to allow space enthusiasts and the rest of the world to digitally retrace their historic footsteps. On Monday, the search engine giant unveiled Moon in Google Earth, an interactive three-dimensional atlas of the moon, as part of its Google Earth 5.0 satellite imaging and mapping software to celebrate the 40th anniversary of the moon landing. Google Earth users can use the new upgrade to explore the moon through panoramic photos, previously unreleased NASA video footage shot on the lunar surface, and follow along as Aldrin and Apollo 17 astronaut Jack Schmitt offer guided video tours of the moonscape. Moon and Google Earth was developed as part of Google's ongoing Space Act Agreement partnership with NASA. Oh, I tell you, that was kind of one of the roughest news to get through. Someone saying instead of saying archaeologists, just say shovel diggy people. I might have to try that next time. That was funny. Oh, that was great. But again, we've got a great show tonight. Like I said, we're going to have Patrick Burns on here in just a few minutes. But, mainly get ready for the second half of the show where we're going to have a quiz show. And I just tossed the number away. Hold on a second. I'm going to give you the number to call in. All right, here we go. So write this number down because you will need it during the second half of the show. That number is 877-876-7797. Don't call in right now. It's coming. So 877-876-7797. So, and I'll put it in the chat room too. Like I said, we're going to, I'll explain, basically, let me go ahead and explain a little bit what exactly we're going to do. We're going to get 3 contestants on, so it's going to be the first 3 callers once we get ready to do the show. So write that number down. First 3 callers win during the second half of the show. We'll let you know when to call in. That will be our 3 contestants. We're going to ask some questions. We're going to give score and or take score, and then we'll have some prizes to give away. So it's going to be a lot of fun. I tell you, it's going to be a blast. We've never done this before, and I am excited about it. So get ready for that. But like I said, we're going to get Patrick Burns on the line here, so don't go anywhere. It's going to be a great show tonight.
Visit www.shadowsinthedarkradio.com today to sign up for our free newsletter, join as a member of our forum, or browse our online store where you can find books, CDs, and DVDs, like a signed copy of The President's Vampire by Robert Damon Schnepp, or the complete works of Dr. Gary Frick for only $20. That's 4 books signed by Dr. Frick that carry a great message. You will also find downloadable products like Mysteries Magazine and the Donald Kehoe interviews, DVDs featuring Charlie Carlson and Mr. Lobo. So go to www.shadowsinthedarkradio.com today and be a part of the show.
Patrick Burns is tonight's guest, and you'll probably most know him from the Court TV and True TV's Haunting Evidence. He's become a well-known name throughout the paranormal community. Patrick, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me.
Well, how are you doing today? And it is a pleasure to have you on.
It's my pleasure to be on your show, and I am doing just great.
Wonderful. Well, I'm glad that you're joining us tonight. And, I want to ask you, how did you get started into the paranormal or paranormal investigations?
Well, like most people, I think, in this field, it's sort of a lifelong curiosity and fascination with the unknown, and certainly wanting to know what happens to us after we die, and trying to find evidence of an afterlife. And it's really been something that I've been very interested in all my life. I never, in my wildest dreams, thought that I would be number one doing this, as a full time, and certainly B, never in a million years thought that I would ever be on a TV show. So it's one series of happy accidents after another, and has led me to where I am today.
Well, and that's kind of a neat point, because doing this show, we've seen it grow and things happen. You think when it all starts, you're like, that's never going to happen, but we're still going to do it. How exactly did Haunting Evidence come to be?
That's really kind of a neat story. I was sort of discovered in very much in the Hollywood sense of the word, and it was I early on in the days of my ghost hunting hobby, as it will, I got a few opportunities presented to me, media opportunities, before anybody was really doing this. I would say this was back in the year 2001, which is when I founded Ghost Hounds, and I had a couple of opportunities that were presented to me that I seized on, and did a very wise thing. I ended up putting the video clips that I had done working with these news organizations on the web, on our website, creating sort of a virtual press kit, if you will.
Right.
And in doing that, I ended up kind of realizing something very interesting happens. Media exposure begets more media exposure. The more media exposure you have, the more media outlets want to work with you. And I ended up having these clips available on our website. And in doing that, I was kind of discovered by a production company that did Haunting Evidence. They said, "We've seen your stuff. We've seen your media clips and stuff on your website, and we'd be very interested in possibly working with you. We're pitching a show for Court TV. It's going to be working with a pair of psychics and investigating cold case homicide and missing persons cases. Would you be interested in it?" And I said, "Sure, absolutely." And I said, "Okay, well, we've got a couple of other contenders that we're considering, so we'll be getting back to you." And I felt that I would probably never hear from them again.
All right.
Yeah, right. Whatever. Don't call us. We'll call you. But lo and behold, I got a call a couple weeks later. They said, "Okay, Patrick, we're going to fly you to New York City to film a pilot, a test episode for us, a test shoot rather." And that went well. It went a lot better than I thought it had. I had felt that I completely blew my opportunity. After it was done filming, I'm like, all right, well, it was fun while it lasted. At least I got a free trip to New York City out of it, and I never expected anything was going to come of the show. And a couple months later, they called me back. They said, "Okay, we liked what we saw in the test shoot. We want to greenlight you guys to shoot a couple of pilot episodes." And we did the 2 pilot episodes. The pilot episodes were well received, and they greenlit us for the series, and the rest, as they say, is history. That's kind of how it all came about.
Well, that's an interesting story. Now, it is my understanding that the show no longer runs. Is that right?
It actually, in fact, this Saturday at midnight Eastern Time, True TV will be doing a Haunting Evidence mini marathon. I think they've got about 3 or 4 episodes slated to air Saturday night. So we do live on. The show does live on in reruns. But you're correct. The show is no longer in production. So we've kind of run our course. We did 3 seasons on the network, and it was a wonderful opportunity for me. And I'm what does the future hold for me? I'm kind of out there looking for my next big break, as it will be.
Well, I guess it led to other things as well. I mean, now you work on a lot of conferences now, which is definitely a good thing.
Absolutely. Yeah, I average attending a different conference about every other week, about every 2 weeks. It seems I'm at a conference someplace in the country. So yeah, I'm really out there hitting the conference circuit hard and heavy these days. And like I said, I've got a couple of other opportunities that I'm working on. A number of people have asked me to participate on their shows that they have in development, and working on that. And with a number of individuals, I'm also trying to develop a couple of my own series as well. And once I get past this summer, I'm going to have more time to concentrate on that and key in on some of my own ideas, my own concepts that I want to pitch to networks. And I got one out there that's really promising, and we'll just have to keep our fingers crossed and see what becomes of it.
And now, speaking of conferences, I do know that you're going to be down in Charlotte in November because I will be at that one myself as one of the speakers. So we'll be there together, but that is in, what is it, the Paranormal Investigators Convention, right? November 6th through 8th.
Yes, that is correct. And, as luck would have it, or fate would have it, I'm actually in Charlotte, North Carolina at this very moment, sort of driving through, just got some late dinner at the Waffle House, and just sort of passing it through. So isn't that funny how fate works out? Yeah, doing that conference in November. I'm really looking forward to that, and seeing you there, of course, and as well as seeing a lot of my other friends there as well. And I'm also getting reminded here that I should tell everybody I have a book coming out this fall that I co-authored with two of my friends, Marley Gibson and Dave Schrader. Mm-hmm. And the book is called The Other Side, A Teen's Guide to Ghost Hunting and the Paranormal. And this book idea sort of was born out of Marley Gibson has a young adult nonfiction series called The Ghost Huntress. And it's a whole series of books that she's been writing, and deals with a teenage ghost hunter, a group of teenage ghost hunters. And as they like to say, the story is fiction, but the science is real. She really did a lot of heavy-duty research into what we do on investigations to make sure she got it right. And about a year ago, she approached me with the idea of writing a companion nonfiction guidebook geared at the same audience as her saying young adult audience, teenage and young adult audience. And I said, wow, that's a great idea, because nothing up to this point has really been written for that age group. There are a lot of how-to manuals out there, of course, on ghost hunting, but nothing really geared at the next generation of ghost hunters. And we totally seized this opportunity to kind of get the kids started on the right foot. Tell them, it's not cool to poke around on private property without permission, or go into cemeteries. There's certainly no vandalizing. Don't do drugs. Don't smoke. Don't drink while you're investigating. And really trying to get kids started off as responsibly as possible with this hobby. And we're fully anticipating some controversy coming out of it, because there are so many people within the community that think that teens have no business ghost hunting. And the fact of the matter is, I think most people in the field probably started out ghost hunting when they were teens. So it's a bit hypocritical, in my opinion, from my perspective, for people to sit there and tell kids, you can't do it. Even though I did it as a teen, you shouldn't be doing it. And I understand they want to keep teens safe. They want to make sure that they don't get themselves into an unfortunate situation, or pick up some type of a negative energy attachment that they bring home with them. And we made it a very clear point to go through in the book, and there is actually an entire chapter dedicated to doing spiritual protection to shield themselves and just sort of ensure that nothing like that happens. My whole opinion about spiritual attachments, and I'm still very much on the fence about a lot of that stuff. Very skeptical. Do I believe it's possible? Absolutely. And just out of the mere possibility alone means, to me, it's better to err on the side of caution and teach kids that you might not pick up anything, but just in case, here's a little extra piece of take you a few seconds to do this, but it might make the difference between having something follow you home and having an otherwise productive investigation. So
right,
really excited about that. So co-authored by myself, Marley Gibson, and Dave Schrader, and will be in bookstores. You can pre-order it on Amazon right now, but it will be officially released in brick-and-mortar bookstores across the nation on September 1st. And again, it's called The Other Side, A Teen's Guide to Ghost Hunting and the Paranormal.
Well, I think it's a great idea because, I mean, I agree with you 100% that most gain this interest in their teenage years. I know I did, and most who I have talked to, same case. So I think I think this is a great idea, and I definitely, I think you three have probably put together something great. I'll look forward to reading it.
Well, I appreciate that. I appreciate the support there. And I do think it's a good idea too, because, like I said within my blog a few months back, just because you tell a teen not to do something doesn't mean they're not going to do it. Teens are out there. They have sex. They drink. They smoke. They do drugs. And in fact, because of the rebellious nature of adolescents, they're actually I believe, more likely to do stuff because they're not supposed to do it. It's that rebel mentality, and we're not gonna stick our heads in the sand like ostriches and pretend that kids are not going to go out and do this sort of thing. Of course they are, and especially with the plethora of new shows that are coming on TV these days, geared at a younger audience. There's a show on Cartoon Network right now, a live-action show on Cartoon Network, actually called The Other Siders.
Right.
No relation to the title of our book, ironically. It just sort of turned out that way. But the serendipity couldn't have been better for us. We have that coming out. There's a new show coming out for Sci-Fi. It's a Ghost Hunters spinoff starring, I believe, Steve and Tango, called Ghost Hunters: The Next Generation. So the timing for us to release a book geared at this age group could not have been any better. It's just that the stars aligned or whatever, and when we hatched this idea a year ago and started working on the book, of course we didn't know anything about these new shows coming out geared at this age group. So it just chalked that one up as a happy accident, and hopefully the book will sell well, and we'll get enough interest out of it that it'll inspire the next generation and get them started on the right foot.
Do you feel that that your book, as well as some of these new shows coming out, will more or less add more people trying to go for that thrill ride that you've seen? Such a huge explosion in paranormal investigations over the last 5-6 years. Or do you think that it's going to help kind of get people to understand that this isn't like going to an amusement park? That quite frankly,
yes,
sitting in a dark room for 8 hours, asking questions,
boring usually. Yes,
exactly.
So we did go out of our way. We start off the book actually that way, and we say, look, we know you've seen these TV shows out there. They're entertaining to watch, but they are just that. They are entertainment. And it does not happen that quickly. What you see is compressed for time compression in the editing room. My own program, Haunting Evidence, they would shoot approximately 30 to 40 hours of video. 30 to 40 hours of video, and only end up using 22 minutes worth.
All right.
So it just, we definitely said, all right, if you're getting into because you think it's for a thrill ride, and you think you're going to see a ghost on your first investigation, and every investigation, guess again. It doesn't happen. There are many paranormal investigators out there that have been doing this for years that have never seen a full-bodied apparition. And we definitely went out of our way to let people know, look, for the overwhelming majority of it, a lot of it is very boring and very mundane. You're sitting there for hours waiting for something to happen. I like to refer to ghost hunting as hurry up and wait.
Right.
You set up your equipment, and then you basically wait it out. And then even once you've completed the investigation, then there's evidence you have to go back and review. So it's not, it can be a lot of fun, of course, and exhilarating, and especially when you get something. That element is definitely there. But, that for the majority of the time, it's pretty boring, and you really got to be dedicated to the field to make a go out of it. And we also are very quick to point out that all three of us have been on television regarding ghost hunting, and we don't want to create any delusions that it's going to happen for them. It might not. In fact, the possibilities are overwhelmingly against it happening. For anyone else, for lightning to strike, because we just happen to get lucky, and it's not a field that you make a living in full time, myself included. Even though I was on a hit television program, and I have a book coming out, I have to do other stuff to make ends meet as well. I go to conferences, and I also do my professional photography, infrared photography. So it's not. I get emails from kids from time to time asking me, remarking, I love your show, I'm very excited. Are you hiring? I'm like, no. You've got to realize something. This is not a vocation. This is a hobby.
Right.
Even for myself, it's a hobby. I mean, obviously, I am compensated for my role on the television program, and I am paid to attend conferences and speak at universities. But that's the exception, not the rule. Most people get into this just as hobbyists, and it never even make a dime on it. In fact, there's usually a negative cash flow. You end up buying equipment, you end up spending money on gas and travel to go and conduct these investigations. And in some instances now, particularly well-publicized haunted locations are now charging money for teams to come in and investigate. So it's not, by any stretch of the imagination, a money-making venture. And we're very quick to point out and say, the quickest way to have yourself alienated from your peers in this field is to try charging money to conduct an investigation, because you can't prove the existence of ghosts. Therefore, you can't go in and proclaim somebody's location to be haunted or not haunted. This isn't something that you do for profit. Fun, yes. Profit, no.
Yeah.
And we really kind of, I think, did a great job of dispelling a lot of the myths and misconceptions about the field. And hopefully the young people will read this book and take to heart what we've written and what we've outlined.
And not only the that, but also the cost to do this. I mean, like I say, it's not profitable. So you're sinking money into a hobby that you're not going to see a return on. So you have to have that dedication and passion.
Absolutely, without a question of a doubt. This is something that you really, a lot of other hobbies. Yes, it is possible to incorporate that into a profession. Let's say you make and you build and fly radio controlled airplanes. Okay, sure, you can probably set up a hobby shop that specializes in RC planes and aircraft and other toys like that, and you can turn that into a full-time job for yourself. Kind of difficult to do with ghost hunting. You can't really. There's only a handful of ways, ethical ways, in my opinion, to make money in this field. One is to be on a television program. Again, that's doesn't happen very often. And I think you're going to see it happening less and less. I think the television market is starting to get a little saturated with paranormal programs, and I think that the number of new shows coming out is going to greatly diminish. So, that's one way, if you can manage it, is to be on a TV show. Another way is to write a book. Of course, nothing unethical about selling a book, as long as you own the copyright on everything in it, or have arranged, licensing for photos or what have you. Absolutely nothing wrong with writing a book. Or number 3, if you happen to be in an area inhabited by lots of tourists, start doing ghost tours. But those are the exceptions, and beyond that, I don't really know of a whole lot of ethical ways to make money in the field. So, it definitely is a labor of love, and something that you do out of passion, not because you see dollar signs.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. Now, let me ask you, over your years of doing paranormal investigations, what is the most significant thing that you have learned, that you have taken away from it?
The most significant thing I think that I have taken away from it is I am very scientifically minded. I approach this from a true skeptical perspective. That is not as a disbeliever. A lot of people confuse the cynic with the skeptic, and they're completely different creatures. Mm-hmm. A lot of cynics out there purport to be skeptics when they're actually demonstrating extreme cynicism. I approach this from a skeptical perspective. And yeah, the majority of what is going on out there can be explained rationally. But it's that small percentage of the stuff that leaves you still scratching your head. You've gone 9 ways to Sunday to try and debunk it, to try and explain it away, and you can't. You can't come up with reasoning on this. The most compelling evidence that we have out there, in my opinion, is probably electronic voice phenomena. Right. I've racked my brain over the coals 1,000 times trying to figure out what the heck is this? What could this be? Okay, there's unmistakable human voices. If you have a Class A EVP, it's a very, very cool thing. And I challenge any true skeptic to debunk a good Class A EVP, as long as the conditions and the environment under which they were recorded were not contaminated.
Right.
But you get a good Class A EVP that's recorded under optimal conditions, or optimally controlled conditions, and that's like, okay, these EVPs, they're not crosstalk on the airwaves, on the radio band, which is what a lot of people try to dismiss them as. I've yet to record an EVP of Britney Spears' latest hit. Okay? I just haven't done it. Or a DJ hawking the monster truck rally. Sunday. We're not getting EVPs like that. We're getting specific answers and commentary to questions that are being asked or remarks that are being made. Case in point, I was in an alley a few weeks ago where a notable person from history was assassinated, and we're remarking about how far he made it, and caught this very clear EVP saying he went quick, and just completely mesmerized me. When they chime in with their 2 cents, their colored commentary. Right. EVP definitely tops the list in terms of the amazing stuff to me, and what I have taken away from this field the most. And there's other experiences. There's other devices out there. The Ovilus device, which is invented by Bill Chappell, just incredible. I don't know if you're familiar with it. You may have seen it in use on Paranormal State before. Mm-hmm. You do understand what it is, correct?
Yes, I do.
And how it works, yeah. I was one of the first to use the Ovilus when it was released a little bit over a year ago. About a year and a half ago, Bill actually presented me with one, and I just immediately, from the moment I turned the thing on, it was just flooring me with what was coming through on it, the voices, what they were saying, not the voices, but the data that was being, the voices, the synthesized voices that were coming through, and what the device was saying was just mind-boggling to me. And every time I show it to people, they initially are skeptical about it, and then they see it in action, and more often than not, people are blown away themselves by it, and they're like, okay, where do I get one of those now? So, yeah, really, really fun device to play with, and so some really interesting things from time to time. It's what I find today is, I've not been really disappointed in terms of finding evidence of the paranormal out there. I certainly have gone looking for such evidence, and I certainly have found it as well. It is definitely out there, and science cannot explain everything. So, still, we're still left to question: do ghosts really exist? Of course, that question has not been answered. Probably never will be answered. Right. But there's definitely, a lot of mysterious stuff that goes on out there, and to the patient investigator who is willing to put in, the time and effort, there's certainly stuff out there to find and experience. So.
Well, Patrick, I got a great question from the chat room here. This is GL from our chat room asking, what are your thoughts of the ethics of, say, doing an investigation somewhere like, say, the Auschwitz or someplace like the World Trade Center? I guess it's more along the lines where really horrible tragedies took place. And I know he brought this up in the forum, and kind of the point he was making was, things that are still fresh on people's minds.
Yes. I definitely believe that there is an ethical line that can be crossed occasionally. I was in New Orleans a couple days ago, and immediately, of course, Katrina came to mind, and the lower Ninth Ward where all the flooding went on. That there are ghost stories down there because the National Guard, the military, when they were clearing out the area and reopening it or securing the area down, experienced many things going on down there. I don't believe it is it's time to be running in there with EVP, digital voice recorders, and cameras and whatnot, trying to find activity in that area. I think it is too soon. It is too fresh in everybody's mind. Same goes for Southeast Asia, where the Boxing Day tsunamis hit several years ago. The crazy activity that's been reported in Indonesia and in India, where the tsunamis hit hardest. But again, way too soon. It's too fresh in people's minds. 9/11, same thing. The World Trade Center, I won't do it. Not yet. Right. I don't know if I ever would. There definitely, a lot of people lost loved ones in that tragedy and are still mourning. It was only 8 years ago, so it's still very fresh in people's minds, and I think we do owe it to ourselves as investigators to be mindful of people's and be sensitive to those who have lost loved ones in horrible tragedies such as that. I don't know when it is morally just to go in and actually conduct an investigation there. It might be decades before it would be okay. I guess I don't know where even how to measure that. I don't even have a barometer or a broomstick or a yardstick or anything that I can use to measure or gauge when it's probably okay. It might be decades. It might be never. I certainly would be interested in particularly in Southeast Asia, where the tsunamis hit the hardest. I would love to do that. I think it would be amazing to see what kind of activity you might collect there. But I've got to balance that against what is morally correct and be sensitive to, the families that are still mourning the loss of loved ones. And I suppose a lot of that comes out of my work on haunting evidence. Of course, we investigated cold cases, missing persons, and homicides, and we never took on a case without the permission of the family members. We made sure that if they hadn't seen the show before, we made sure that they were given a copy of the show. Or I shouldn't say we, our production company made sure that they were given DVDs of the show to see what the look and feel is of the show, so they knew exactly what they were getting themselves into. And we certainly did not harass them, or our production company certainly didn't harass anybody. It was one time they said, this is what we're doing. If you hang up on us or you tell us to never call again, we never will call again. And I know that there were some instances where they did not allow us. They said, no, we don't want you doing that. And of course we said thank you and went on to the next number in the list. So, while we were filming the show, in many instances, I worked directly alongside the family members of these people. I met Beth Twitty, Natalie Holloway's mother. She gave me some of Natalie's clothes that she had been wearing in Aruba to take to John and Carla to see if they could pick up a stronger impression while holding her clothing. It was unlaundered. It was unwashed, and I was thinking, gosh, this is weird. I mean, I've got Natalie Holloway's DNA on my hands now, and it was very surreal. But we had to be so sensitive. We had to be so mindful of these people's emotions and try to do it as try to film them as respectfully and dignified as possible, and just not overly sensationalize the program, and be sensitive to them. And I'm very proud of our production company and to the network for having done that, for having definitely raised the bar in terms of ethics, because obviously not all media companies would be as ethical as that. In some instances, they would be like, no, it's all about ratings. Do what you got to do. Yeah, if you can get them to cry on camera, that's even better.
All right.
Yeah. But that was never anything that I ever witnessed from Departure Films, our production company, or from the network. And I'm very proud to have be able to say that they the network and our production company always conducted themselves in an ethical, responsible manner. So, I guess maybe from my work on haunting evidence touches a little bit closer to home for me. But yes, certainly, I'm very mindful of people's sensitivity and emotions, and I'm not going to immediately run in with waving the EMF detector around just because I think there's a fresh case and there's a good chance that there's going to be activity in that area.
All right.
Just my personal opinion and belief.
Now, I also want to kind of ask you a little about, get into EVPs a little bit, because apparently you're known for being able to really work a little magic on them, I guess, best way to put it. That you have some very good skills with audio filtering.
Yes, I work with a program called Adobe Audition, which most investigators that do EVP work are probably familiar with. It used to be a program called Cool Edit Pro.
Right.
I've actually been working with Cool Edit since about 1993. It was a freeware download off of AOL back in those days on a dial-up modem, and I got this software downloaded for, I can't even remember for what application I was doing it, downloading it for, but I had the ability, or I had the opportunity to play around with it a bit, and I was like, wow, this is really neat software. And what I really found fascinating about it was the noise reduction capabilities of it, where you can basically take background noise, tape hiss, the background hiss that you'll hear on many tape recordings. Mm-hmm. You actually take a sample of just the noise, just the tape hiss, then you actually use that sample as your filter, as your noise reduction filter. You tell the software, this is the component of this audio file that I want removed. And it goes in there, and I was just blown away at how much you were able to enhance and restore an old recording. And of course, once I got into doing EVP work, I very quickly realized, well, that's an interesting sound there. It sounds like there's a voice. Wait a second, I can isolate that, I can amplify that, I can remove the background noise and enhance this to the point where now maybe we take a Class C EVP, which of course are the worst ones. You can take a Class C EVP and make it, maybe make it at least a B minus, or in some instances a Class A EVP.
Wow.
It's your mileage varies, of course, with each recording, because they're never the same. In some instances, you can just do a little bit of work on a file, and all of a sudden you've created a much clearer representation of the audio file. In some instances, you'll sit there and play with it for an hour and a half, and you really can't do anything to really help it or enhance it. Of course, I know that for a lot of the cynics out there, especially, that element doing restoration on a file and manipulating it is controversial, because they believe that you might be in a situation where people are hoaxing stuff, or they're adding stuff that wasn't really there. And what I normally do when I edit a file is I will play the file. It'll loop at least twice, and the first time it plays through is the original undoctored recording, and then immediately after that, within the same audio file, I will play the filtered representation, so people can see what it is that I have actually done to the file. They can also, if they so choose, they can take the original file and try to enhance it themselves that way. So, I always preserve the original file for comparison and for for archival purposes. So, but yeah, that's always kind of been my specialty within the field, is being able to work some magic on audio files. And I've done this for a number of years for friends of mine that are like, I've got this EVP, I know it's there, I know it's saying something, but I can't tell what it's saying. Can you help me out here? And I've sent many of these files back to friends, and just completely blown them away by what I've been able to bring out of the file, how I've been able to enhance it and restore it. So, fun stuff.
Well, definitely a good skill to have. If you're into this kind of hobby, or whatever you want to classify it as for yourself, but definitely a good skill to have, because audio, as well as you go on an investigation, you come back with literally days worth of audio. So.
Oh yeah. Well, I used to. There was a situation where I used to hit record on my DVR and just let it run. Of course, I've got a recorder now that has 2 gigabytes worth of memory, and I think I estimated you could probably get 40 hours worth of recordings on this thing, very high quality recordings. And I'm like, yeah, okay, great. We've got 40 hours of recordings. Now you get to review 40 hours worth of recordings looking for an EVP. I'm like, I just don't have that kind of time. And what I found in my experience of doing EVP work, I found that if I was going to get an EVP, 95% of the time, I will get an EVP within, the magic number for me seems to be 12, the first 12 minutes of a recording. If I didn't get an EVP in the first 12 minutes, it didn't matter how long I let the recorder go. I might let it go a half hour, 45 minutes. There still wouldn't be anything in there. So I started refining my technique, going with shorter recording sessions of no longer than about 15 minutes. Right. Two of my good friends in this field and have become very, very well known the last couple of years for their EVP work are Mark and Debbie Constantino. And I've had the pleasure of not only knowing them, but having the opportunity to work alongside the two of them on a number of investigations. And their approach is pretty radical, or more radical than I had seen to date. What they do in many instances are very short burst recordings. They'll do a burst for anywhere from 30 seconds to 3 minutes, usually no longer than that, asking questions, and then they immediately play it back right there, off of the device. They'll make the recording and then they'll play it back immediately to see if they got anything. And this technique has worked out extremely well for them. So well, it's actually what I have started doing as well. I've stopped doing EVP sessions usually any longer than about 5 minutes, trying to get coax a response out within 5 minutes, and then I can play it back right there on the spot. And if I get anything, great. I'll start doing another recording in that location. If I don't get anything, I know, all right, well, this area may not be active tonight. Let's move to another area and see if we get anything there. So the technique has worked out extremely well for myself, and I definitely recommend everyone try it out, see how it works for you.
Yeah, definitely. I will have to give it a shot myself because I've never done it like that. So great advice. Well, Patrick, unfortunately, we are pretty much out of time. If you'll, before you leave us, one more time, give the name of your book, when it's available, where it's available, and your website, please. Okay.
I have many websites. First off, people can find me on MySpace at myspace.com/ghostgeek, GHOSTGEEK. They can find me on Facebook with the same URL, facebook.com/ghostgeek. My Twitter page is twitter.com/Patrick_Burns, is where they can see my tweets that I put out there. My photography website is patrick-burns.net. If people want to check out some of my artistic infrared photography that I've done over the years, it is available there. And my personal professional website is patrick-burns.com. And people can see my current calendar of events I have coming up and view my demo reels that I've filmed on the website, as well as get photographs and other information of what I'm up to, what's going on.
All right, wonderful. We do have a few of those linked off of our website, as well as your book on Amazon, where it can be pre-ordered there.
The book again is called The Other Side, A Teen's Guide to Ghost Hunting and the Paranormal, and is available on Amazon.com right now for pre-orders. I believe it's BarnesNoble.com as well. And again, September 1st, you'll start seeing it in brick-and-mortar bookstores across the country. So.
Oh, all right. Sounds wonderful. Well, Patrick, I really appreciate you joining us tonight. And, of course, we'll be seeing you at the Paranormal Investigators Convention November 6th through 8th in Charlotte. So I look forward to actually getting to meet you as well.
Absolutely. Looking forward to it.
All right. Well, Patrick, you have a good night. I know you said you were driving, so have a safe trip as well.
Thank you so much.
All right. Thank you so much for joining us.
Yep.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
All right, everybody. That was Patrick Burns. Very interesting information there for all you ghost hunters out there. A little bit of advice of maybe some new techniques to give a try. So make sure to do so. Well, I tell you, we're going to take our break right fast. Get this thing out of the way. So when we come back, we're going to have that the Shadows in the Dark, the first ever Shadows in the Dark quiz show. So get ready for that. Get the phone number that I gave out earlier. I'll give it one more time, because what we're going to do is take the first 3 callers, but that's after the break and when we say so. But write this down, 877-876-7797. I'm going to give it one more time, and yes, it is toll-free. It is 877-876-7797. So get ready to dial that number when we come back from the break. So we'll be back in a minute, and we're going to have the Shadows in the Dark's first ever Paranormal Quiz Show. You are listening to Shadows in the Dark, broadcasting live at shadowsinthedarkradio.com and Dark Plains Radio at darkplainsradio.com. The show can also be heard as a rebroadcast at ParaX at para-x.com and available as a podcast at Black Vault Radio at blackvaultradio.com and Planet Paranormal at planetparanormal.com.
Have you been wondering what gift to get that special person in your life? Then you need to visit Mountain View Candle Works, your one-stop headquarters for candles, fountains, specialty foods, and much more. Just visit www.mountainviewcandleworks.com. We make your candles with mountain care.
More than just another New Age journal, Mysteries Magazine provides a thought-provoking, in-depth look into myths, magic, and the paranormal, as well as the mysteries which have intrigued both historians and scientists from the beginning of time. So subscribe today by visiting www.mysteriesmagazine.com or pick up a copy at select newsstands throughout the U.S. and Canada. Again, that was www.mysteriesmagazine.com. Challenge your beliefs.
Are you wondering if the path that you've chosen is the right one for you? Or would you like to see a glimpse of what the future may hold? Tarot may be able to help you understand better the path that you're on. The cards don't lie, nor do they lead you astray, as they're a vehicle for messages from God, angels, and guides. Have your cards read for you by world-renowned tarot card master Scotty Roberts. To schedule a private reading with Scotty, visit www.tarotbyscotty.com today and find out what the cards may hold for you.
Ready for some rollicking adventure? In Scotty Roberts' book, The Rollicking Adventures of Tam O'Hare, join Irish Rabbit, Tam O'Hare, and his young squirrel squire, Horatio McNutt, as they journey through Scotland of the mid-1500s seeking a small child who's been stolen by the fairy folk. Crafty raccoon pirates, conniving noble wolves, conflicted royal foxes, and self-serving religious badgers all stand in the way as their quest brings them headlong into high seas action and supernatural intrigue. The Rollicking Adventures of Tam O'Hare is in bookstores everywhere and at barnesandnoble.com. This hardcover, lushly illustrated chapter book is the first book in the Tam O'Hare series. But hang on to your sabers. Book 2, Tam O'Hare and the Banshee of Ballyglenmorrow, is coming later this year. So swash your buckle and prepare yourself for a historically rollicking, swaggeringly supernatural adventure. Visit TamO'Hare.com to learn more. You'll never trust a raccoon with a sword again.
Hello everybody, this is Mr. G from the World Paranormal Society and from Haunt the Hunters on DarkPlainsRadio.com. I would like to tell you about a website. It's called TreasureForAllUSA.com, where I got everything from knickknacks to complete DVR systems. A place where you can shop for everything and everything, and if we don't have it, I'll find it for you. That's again, TreasureForAllUSA.com, everything from DVR systems, TV sets, knickknacks, and gifts for loved ones. Come check it out, TreasureForAllUSA.com. You won't be disappointed.
Well, it is time for the first ever Shadows in the Dark Paranormal Quiz Show. So what we're going to do is I'm going to get ready to open the lines for those 3 callers, and then I will fill you in on exactly what we are going to do, how it's going to take place. So the lines are open. So the first 3 callers to call, 877-876-7797. That will be our 3 contestants, and I will fill you in with the rules of the game as we get it started, but this is going to be fun and interesting, and I guarantee you'll actually even learn something. So let's get those first 3 callers, 877-876-7797, and we'll just bring you on, and we'll just try to get everybody on at the same time, and then we'll introduce you onto the show as well. So here we go. Our first caller is called in, and our second caller, and we need one more. Here we go. All right, we have got 3 callers. All right. Hello. Well, somebody missed out. Okay, so I'm going to go through. We're going to see who we got here. So if you're trying to call in, I apologize because we have 3. And let me figure out where all 3 are at. Okay, here we go. First, we have got a caller. Looks like 973. What's your name and where are you from?
Hey, Jeremiah. It's Don, and I'm from Hawthorne, New Jersey, down the street from our old buddy, Captain Bugface.
All right, so we've got Don. All right, our next one is 717 area code. Your name and where are you from?
This is Denise. I'm calling from Lancaster, Pennsylvania, and I'm even further down the road from Captain Bugface.
Oh, no, we still got somebody trying to call in. We have 3. I'm sorry, I keep denying your call. All right, and then 209. Your name and where are you from?
This is Tim from Modesto, California.
All right, and we have Tim. All right, so we have Don, Denise, and Tim, all longtime listeners of the show. So, wonderful. Are you guys ready to win some prizes tonight?
Yes.
Yes.
I am ready.
All right. Well, the good news is everybody will walk away with the prize, some not as good as the others. So...
Okay.
All right, so this is how it's going to work. Basically, we've got a list of questions. We're going to be asking questions. These can be in regards to the paranormal, archaeology, questions about the show, past shows.
Shovel Biggie.
Yes.
Shovel Biggie people.
Yes, Shovel Biggie people. So this can be questions that can range over a wide variety of topics, just like the show itself. So be prepared to kind of know some stuff here. We'll keep score, and basically we'll have a first, second, third. We'll probably take a few breathers, little minute and a half, 2-minute breathers here and there, basically rounds, I guess you could say. And what you're going to do is the way we're going to know who has buzzed in is you got to say your name. So that's, I don't have a buzzer system, unfortunately. So whenever you think you know the answer to the question, say either Don, and then I'll know it's Don. And don't try to give somebody else's name. So, Denise, don't say Don if you think Don doesn't know the answer. That's cheating.
I say Bill.
And basically, we'll have about 5 seconds for someone to buzz in and about 5 seconds to answer to help cut down on any Googling. All right? So, no Googling. No Googling. If I hear typing, I don't know what I'm going to do because I won't know who it is. So, probably the first person to say their name. All right, here we go.
If he catches you Googling.
Yes, I will make you throat sing. All right, here we go. First question of the first ever Shadows in the Dark quiz. What was the name of the Army major that claimed to have taken a piece of the Roswell wreckage home and examined it with his 12-year-old son?
Denise.
Okay, Denise.
Jesse Marcel.
Jesse Marcel. Denise takes the lead with 1 point. You guys got a lot of catching up to do. So here we go. Next.
I'm like more than 10 times ahead of everyone right now.
That's right. All right. Next question. This is a Shadows in the Dark related question. Who was the first ever Shadows in the Dark guest?
Tim.
All right, Tim.
Is it Mr. Lobo?
No, not Mr. Lobo. Denise or Don? 5 seconds.
Don.
Don.
Gary Frick.
No, not Gary Frick. Denise, it's on you.
I have no idea.
The answer is Todd Standing, was Shadows in the Dark's first ever guest, which we actually done a rebroadcast not too long ago. He was the one who spoke about the protection of Bigfoot. So, and that was show number 2. We did not have a guest on the first show. Show number 2 actually had a guest. So, wow. You know what? The first Shadows in the Dark question and nobody gets it. What kind of fans are you? So, man. Okay, all right.
I just started tuning in recently.
All right. All right, here we go. That's funny. I hope you at least get one Shadows in the Dark question. Okay. Next question is, what are the names of the 2 Georgia Bigfoot hoaxers of 2008? Times. Okay, Don, you right at time.
I'm out of time? Okay.
No. You can answer. You can answer.
I was going to say Robert Schneck and Robert Schneck's dad.
No. All right. Anybody else want to chime in on that one?
I was going to say Dumb and Dumber, but that's probably not it either.
Okay. The answer to that question is Rick Dyer and Matt Witten. Rick Dyer and Matt Witten, which are back on August the 15th. They will be displaying their new Bigfoot body that they have found, by the way. So.
Oh, what costume company they got that one from?
I don't know. I have no idea. But yes, they are back. If you're interested in going, it will be displayed in Atlanta, Georgia. By the way, the Bigfoot community is not invited because they only want serious people. That is true. I'm not making that up. That is true. So I guess that just leaves the ghost hunting community because I know they are big Bigfoot fans and serious about finding Bigfoot. All right, next question. What state and 2 cities was the Mothman sighted in? That's best well known for its sightings.
Don.
All right, Don. Oh, Don beat you.
West Virginia.
Okay, that's the state. Now, what's the 2 cities, though?
Silver Springs?
No. All right. Denise, you were next.
West Virginia. The town was Point Pleasant.
Okay, but there was 2 towns.
There was another town?
There was another town that the sightings were taking place in.
Hey. Was it Silver Bridge?
No, not Silver Bridge. All right, Tim, you're the only one left. Do you have an answer? No. All right, it was West Virginia and Point Pleasant. That was correct. But the other town that sightings were taking place was Charleston, West Virginia. Yes, Point Pleasant was where the majority of the sightings were taking place, but at the same time, Charleston was also involved in sightings. A little tricky there, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
a little tricky.
I do a really good impression of the Mothman from his 24-hour phone call.
that was Knox's question. What foreign accent does the Mothman have?
You're next going to want his first name.
Yeah. All right, here we go. You guys are doing great. The score is 0, Don, Denise 1, Tim 0. Man, this is you guys are rocking.
I have not heard. This is not the first time today I've heard 0, Don, 0. But anyway.
Okay, all right. Here we go. What sign of the zodiac is a fish-tailed goat?
Denise.
All right, Denise.
Capricorn.
Yes. Capricorn is the correct answer. Denise is taking a tremendous lead with 2 points.
Sorry. All that Amish cooking she eats out there in Lancaster. That's what it is.
All right.
Yeah, we're going to give away shoe-fly pies for the consolation prizes.
All right, here we go. Here's a fill in the blank, all right? Bigfoot is one of the most famous members of blank, and it is not Mensa.
Oh, Don.
Don, yes.
Cryptozoology category?
Cryptozoology, not a category, but yes, cryptozoology. Don is on the board with 1, trailing Denise by 1. And Tim, you're still at 0.
Wouldn't that be like big, hairy, runny people, or?
Yes, our hair club for men was. I would have accepted that answer as well. Sorry, it's just funny. All right, here we go. Here is another Shadows in the Dark question. Are you ready for this? What psychic medium on a past Shadows in the Dark show claimed to have done a reading for a one-eyed peg-leg parakeet? We have dead air. We can't have dead air. All right, Tim, did you buzz in there?
Yes, I buzzed in.
Okay.
Is it James Prog name?
No, we've never had James Prog. Would have been a good guess, though. All right. Denise or Don, would you like to try to answer?
I do not know.
Okay, nobody with an answer. The answer is Michael Mapes. Michael Mapes claimed to have done a reading for a one-eyed peg-leg parakeet right here on the show. So,
only on Shadows in the Dark, people.
Exactly. Yes, that was a funny show, needless to say. All right, here we go. Here's a fun question. What was the name of the chicken that, after having its head cut off, lived for an amazing 18 months?
Oh, and they built a statue to the darn thing too.
Mm-hmm. Oh, and time's up. Nobody wants to buzz in on that. His name was Mike. Mike the Headless Chicken.
Yeah, they had to feed it with a dropper, too. I remember that part of it, and they built a statue to it, but heaven forbid, I remember the name Mike.
Yes, Mike was his name. He actually ended up dying because it choked to death. True, I wasn't making a joke. Yes, it did choke. They couldn't get to it in time to clear its throat because he had to continue to clear his throat so he wouldn't choke to death. So it probably would have lived much longer. All right.
They should have tried to hit it with a train like they did that jumbo elephant.
Mm-hmm. All right, here we go. Next question. This is surely you'll get this question. Someone name the astronauts on the Apollo 11 mission. There was 3 of them. What's their names?
Don.
All right, Don.
Grissom, Armstrong, and oh my lord, Grissom, Armstrong, and Curly.
Curly. You had one of Curly. One of those was right, and it wasn't Curly. Denise or Tim, would you like to buzz in?
I think it was Armstrong and Alden, but I don't know who the third one was.
Yes.
No, it wasn't Alden. You were close on the name, but not Alden. All right, Tim, have you got the Google up yet?
No, but I think I know 2 of the names, okay. Armstrong and Altman.
No, not Altman. All right, the answer.
You can tell at least we're not cheating.
That's true. I will give you that. It is very obvious there is no cheating going on in this one.
Get a bonus point for that.
The answer is Neil Armstrong, Michael Collins, and Buzz Aldrin. Neil Armstrong and Aldrin are probably the most known because they were the ones who actually walked on the moon, while poor old Collins had to orbit above.
He was the Ringo of the group.
Yes, so, I mean, at least we're learning tonight, right? At least we're learning.
That we are.
All right, the score, which hasn't changed in the last 5 or 10 minutes, is still Don 1, Denise 2, and Tim is still at 0. All right, next question. The Loch Ness Monster is sighted in what country?
Tim.
Hang on.
Oh, Tim. Tim on that one?
Scotland.
Scotland. Tim is on the board. Yes.
Woo!
All right. Don and Tim
and
are...
first name?
Don and... this is first name. Don and Tim are tied at 1. Denise at 2. You guys better do something. Denise is running away with this one. And I only say that because... Well, look at your track record. All right, here we go.
Cold, Jeremiah.
That was pretty cold. I shouldn't treat the listeners of the show like that, should I? Knock will take care of that for me in the chat room, I'm sure. All right.
We're pretty mean about the guests in the chat room, so it's only turnabout is fair play.
Yes. So. All right, here we go. Let's. What year did the Salem witch trials begin?
Tim. 1692.
Yes, that is correct. 1692. Denise, Tim is on your trail. Well, no, he's tied with you. I'm sorry.
Oh, man.
I was even. Well, I was going to say something mean, but I take that back. It is tied, Tim and Denise with 2, Don at 1, and that question was submitted by none other than our wonderful Knock. All right.
Thanks, Knock.
Yes. All right, here we go.
Thank you, Knock.
All right, a multiple choice question. Bet you didn't think we had any of those, did you? All right, when you throw a witch into the water, she A, sinks, B, floats, C, complains. Denise.
B, floats.
B, yes, she floats. We would have probably accepted complaints because I'm sure she probably complained at the same time. Denise has 3 points. 3 points for Denise. I tell you what, let's just take a quick little minute or so break. Let you guys regroup. I don't know, get some brain food in there. Because, just get some brain food in there. So we're going to take a quick little break, everybody. It's not but about a minute or two. We'll come back. We'll continue with round 2 with, what was the score again? I done lost the score. Don with 1, Denise with 3, and Tim with 2. All right, everyone. We are back, and we're going to go with round 2 of our quiz, our Shadows in the Dark first ever quiz, which our contestants are doing such a fantastic job at, and that is Don with 1 point, Denise with 3 points, and Tim with 2 points. I will not say how many questions we have asked so far. Okay, the next... I forgot to mark that one off. I was about to ask it again, which might have helped you guys. Yeah. Okay. You would have liked that, wouldn't you? Okay, here we go. Oh, here's a good one. Where did Jeremiah get the nickname Snowflake? Denise.
That would be in a jail in Georgia somewhere.
Yes, we will take a jail in Georgia or McIntosh County Jail was the more specific answer. Denise with 4 points. Knox says you're like a quiz gun.
Forget it, Snowflake.
Believe me, you're not the only one. I get called Snowflake at work too. Okay, next one.
Curiosity, did a big guy named Bubba actually call you Snowflake when you were in jail? Because
that's
a whole other show right there.
I don't know what his name was, but yes, it was someone who called me Snowflake. Yes, wonderful. All right, our next question. What is the town, or what is the city that the first Ripley's Believe It or Not Museum is located in? The first ever Ripley's Museum. Don.
St. Augustine.
St. Augustine is correct. It was the first ever Ripley's Museum, but it was after Robert Ripley's death, by the way. He did not get to see the first museum open. All right, we have Don with 2 points, Denise with 4, and Tim with 2. So we have a tie for second. And Denise, really now she does have a demanding lead. She's doubled y'all's points. You guys got to do something. All right, did I mark that one off? No, I didn't. Now it is. All right, here we go. I think let's look on this side. Okay, the story of Atlantis was told by what ancient Greek philosopher?
Tim.
Oh, Tim on that one?
Plato.
Plato is correct. You can read that in the book Timaeus and Critias, where that story is told. Tim now has 3 points.
And I guessed on that. I didn't really know that.
Hey, well,
wild guess.
Well, that was a good guess. It got you in front of Don. All right. All right, here we go. What? Now this one should be an easy one because you can guess at it and probably get it. When I say that, and I want none of y'all get it. What Beatles member claimed to have seen a UFO, even took pictures, but they came out overexposed?
Tim.
Don.
Oh, Don, Tim, it keeps beating you. Tim, go ahead.
Paul McCarthy.
No, not Paul McCarthy. So, Don?
John Lennon.
John Lennon is the correct answer. He was with his girlfriend, May Pung or something, in his New York apartment, and they seen a yo-tail. You know what? Forget it. It was John Lennon. Yes, you had the right answer. So, but they did take a picture. It was cone-shaped, and it come out overexposed. All right.
I believe that's what they say about
Smoke
Yoko
coming
Ono.
out of one end of it.
What was that? Something coming out of one end? What?
But was there smoke coming out of one end of it?
Is that a joke?
Yes, that's a joke.
Yes. That, you know what?
Okay.
I can hang up on you. By the way. All right. Next. Sorry, that was mean. All right, next question is, where is the birthplace of Harry Houdini?
Don.
I think I heard Tim first on that one, right below Don's. Tim?
Philadelphia.
Nope, not Philadelphia. Don?
New York City.
Nope, not New York City. Denise, do you have an answer?
I do not know.
Okay, Knox says Houdinisville would be his answer, but it was Budapest, Hungary. Budapest, Hungary. He claimed to have been born in Appleton, Wisconsin, but his birth certificate was discovered and made public, which showed he was born in Budapest, Hungary. So a little bit of unknown information there. How about that? You see me pulling out all the stops. All right, well, the score as of the last 10 minutes or so is still 3 for Don, 4 for Denise, and 3 for Tim. All right. Let's see. Here we go. How about another Shadows in the Dark question?
Okay.
All right. What was the date of Shadows in the Dark's first show?
Tim.
All right, Tim.
Was it in 2005?
No, not 2005.
Oh, Don.
All right, Don.
2007.
2007, but can you give me the date?
It was, I do believe, sometime. Myself. April 20th.
April 20th. Man, you are a fan. Thank you so much. That is correct. Don now has 4, tied with Denise at 4, and Tim is only trailing by 1, and we still have quite a few number of questions here. All right. We'll go about 5 more minutes, and we'll take another little break here. Who can give me the definition of doppelganger, or what is a doppelganger?
Oh, Don.
Okay, did somebody say me?
Denise!
Oh, Denise. I thought you. I thought I heard me. And I actually do think Don buzzed in first on that one. Me.
Okay.
All right, Don. What?
It's a German word for double or look-alike.
Yes, that is it. That is almost verbatim from the Webster Dictionary. Who's Googling there? No, I'm just kidding. Good answer. And Don has taken the lead with 5, and me is still at 4 with Tim at 3. All right. I swear I thought I heard me. All right.
I can hang up on you.
That is true. You can. All right. All right. Here we go. Next question. Let me find one here. What year was Betty and Barney Hill abducted?
Denise.
Tim.
All right, Denise.
1964?
Nope, not 1964. Nope, not 64. Tim, you buzzed in second.
Yeah, 1949.
Ooh, not 49. Don, do you have an answer?
61.
61. Did you just guess that?
Sort of, kinda.
Sort of, kind of. Yes, it was 1961. Supposedly took place from September the 19th through the 20th of 1961. So our score, Don is really he is really taking off, guys. It is Don with 6, Denise with 4, and Tim with 3. Oh, I tell you, it's getting to be a battle here. It's going to get crazy, I know, here soon. All right, here is a tough one. Unlike all the others that were very simple. All right. During Art Bell's career as a DJ for KSBK in Japan, he set a world record for time on air. How long was he on the air for?
Don.
All right, Don.
30 hours?
No, not 30 hours. Tim.
3 days.
3 days. Let me do my math right fast. No, not 3 days. And Denise, do you have an answer?
A week.
A week?
Sure. That would be a record.
It would, but amazingly, you were pretty close, actually, because it was 116 hours and 15 minutes to be exact. So that would be what? Just under 5 days, right? 4 and a half days. Yeah, somewhere around in there. And the reason why he done that, if you did not know, he wanted to raise money. So this money that he raised allowed him to charter a DC-8, fly it to Vietnam, and rescue 130 Vietnamese orphans that were stranded in Saigon at the war's end. They were eventually brought to the United States and adopted by American families. So, yes, so he was DJing in Japan. He refused to get off the air until enough money was raised, until that could be possible. So, very interesting little piece.
You ever thought of doing that, Jer?
Yes, I actually did with this last broadcast, was to actually go for the world record. But after reading what you would have to do, and quite frankly how long it was, for internet broadcast, it was quite some time. And one of the criteria was the host had to at least speak once every minute, and could not be away. Could only take, I think it was 1 5-minute break every hour. So you know, we have some guests.
Like just staying on the air until people send you money to get off.
Oh, that kind of thing. Yeah. It probably wouldn't take long.
Like, 50. The job I used to have as a reverse stripper, I would come out naked and people would pay me to put money.
Exactly. Exactly. Yes, I would be on the air for 15 minutes, and the bank account would fill up. Like, please get off of the air. We have had enough. So, all right. Well, let's take a quick. Moonchild saying, most guests wouldn't even let me talk that often, once every minute, which was one of the reasons I said, yeah, that's not going to happen. But I tell you what, let's take a little break, about a minute and a half, just take a breather, let y'all drink some more brain juice, because apparently the last break actually done some good. All right, well, as the next round of the paranormal quiz right here on Shadows in the Dark, our first ever quiz, having a lot of fun with it, and our score at the moment, if I can find it, is Don with 6, Denise with 4, and Tim with 3. All right, so you guys having a good time with this?
Yeah.
Yes.
All right. And you know what? You don't even know what you're going to win, do you?
Autographed copy.
I think it's going to be a magnet set.
Oh, it could be a big pin for all you know. All right, here we go. Okay, let's. Here we go. Okay, next question, or first question of this round, is what English county is Stonehenge located in?
Don.
All right, Don.
Cardiff.
Nope.
Tim.
Tim.
Cambridge.
No, not Cambridge. Denise, do you have an answer?
Berkshire?
Oh, that was close. It's Wiltshire. Wiltshire. Yes, Wiltshire is the answer. Crystal saying a picture of me is probably what you're going to win. Who knows?
An autographed one.
And I promise you, I won't be smiling. All right, so Wiltshire is where Stonehenge is located. All right, next question. This one happened recently, so I'm hoping everyone will know the answer to this one. Shadows in the Dark guest Robert Zimmerman expressed anger over what question asked while on the show?
Ooh. Yeah, that was.
Tim.
All right, Tim. We got Tim.
It had something to do with people not believing what he believes.
No, we're looking for. Can you give me something specific?
Had something to do with ghosts, didn't it? Or
No, not with ghosts.
aliens?
No. All right, we'll have to go to the next one. So, Denise or Don, either one of you want to chime in?
Oh.
Yes, he was very specific over this.
I do not know.
Yeah, same with me.
All right. He even said he was angered that I would ask a question about the moon landing possibly being a hoax. Yes, he did not
I remember
like
that now.
Yes, of course you do. Wow, you know, you guys are really flunking on the Shadows in the Dark questions, man. Jeez, I'm going to have to give 4 or 5 months of just rebroadcast to refresh everybody here. So
It surprises you can send out rebroadcast MP3s.
I can't remember one of those astronauts actually punched somebody in the face for asking if it had been faked.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was Armstrong, I think, texted somebody.
Yes, Armstrong did. He's been known to be very violent when that question has been posed to him, as well as Robert Zimmerman, obviously. But yes, he said, I am angered that you would even ask that question, because we'd be talking about things that we have done, great things that we have done, but we got to waste time on this. So yes, the moon landing possibly being a hoax. All right, our next one. Here we go. Here is a question about Egypt. Anybody? Any of you three know your Egyptian stuff pretty good?
It was a great song by the Bangles in the mid-1980s.
So in other words, I shouldn't plan on writing a point down for this question, right? All right. Here's the question.
Yeah, just let your right hand rest there.
What is the estimated height of the Great Pyramid of Giza at the end of its construction? Not the current height, but at the end of its construction. In feet.
Don, 500 feet?
500. No, not 500. Denise or Tim?
50 feet?
Well, who was that? Make
Tim.
sure. Okay, Tim, what was your answer?
50 feet.
No, not 50. Denise, do you have an answer? Or at least a guess. Oh, I think we lost Denise. That would be why she's not answering. And the answer is 480. Let's get Denise back on here. All right. We're waiting for Denise to call back into the show. So while we wait, Don, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, I'm a freelance writer from Hawthorne, New Jersey. I've got my first comic book.
Well, that's great. Now Denise is calling in. Denise, you back with us?
You did hang up on me.
I did. Well, I was saying Denise, and then apparently you was dialing and blew all of our eardrums out. So
yeah.
All right.
What's the score now? Now it's like probably 200, and
Yeah, you
still got 4.
Yeah, you're in 5th place actually. We had some email answers that got more points than you. But
people have just been calling in while I was sitting there saying hello.
But no, the score is still 6 for Don. Denise has 4, and Tim has 3. And I don't know if you missed that last question there. But what was the estimated height of the Great Pyramid of Giza? Gaza. I don't know where I got that. At the end of its construction, it was 480 feet. 480 feet was the correct answer. Okay. Are you ready? Next question, and I'll try to keep an eye on if anybody gets disconnected. I just didn't see that. A Shadows in the Dark question. So here we go. We know everybody will get this one. How many hours was Shadows in the Dark off the air during the second 24-hour broadcast due to technical difficulties?
Tim.
10
hours?
10 hours, yes. That is the correct answer. Good job. All right, Tim now has 4, tied with Denise. Don's still leading with 6. Look at this. See, Tim is, he's only been listening to the show for a very short time, and he knows the show better than you two. What a shame. What a shame. Okay. Well, anyway, to the next question. All right. Let's see. Let me find a good one here. What is the name of another continent? What is the name of another continent that allegedly sank? Denise.
Mu?
What was it?
Mu? M-U?
Moo, yes, because I heard a cat meow at the same time you said moo.
Yes, he's trying to help.
Yes, I wasn't sure if you were going with meow or moo, but moo is the correct answer.
The lost continent of meow.
All right. We now.
I'm sorry, that was funny.
We now have Don at 6, Denise at 5, and Tim at 4, and we are getting close to running out of time here. Actually, we're trying to get in as much as we might go a few minutes over if y'all are game, because we do have a few more questions here.
We begin.
Yes, we'll probably go a few minutes over. All right, here we go. The next question. All right. How much did Otis T. Carr tell Long John Nebel that the OTC-X1 circular foil spacecraft prototype would cost?
Tim.
Tim? We got Tim.
1 trillion.
1 trillion. No. Don, you buzzed in second.
I was going to say 1 billion.
1 billion. No. Denise, do you have an answer?
About 100,000.
100,000. No. It was 20 million. $20 million to build the prototype for the OTC X1. And then he said that after that, they would only be $4 million to produce. Unfortunately, yes, Otis T. Carr never did produce his OTC X1 and has unfortunately passed away since then. All right, our next one.
I was going to say payable and small unmarked bills to Otis T. Carr.
Yes, of course. And let's see here. Next question is, what paranormal experience fueled Jeremiah's interest in the unexplained? Denise.
It was, you saw a UFO and you thought you may have encountered aliens.
Okay, well, you gave yes, it was 2 experiences there, but the first one was, yes, I saw a UFO. So it was a UFO sighting at Oak Island, North Carolina. So, yes. All right.
I was paying attention.
You were, thank you. You see, y'all pay attention when I make a fool of myself, but if we're talking seriously, no, nobody pay.
You know it, Jeremy.
Oh, Jeremy, thank you. Let me.
I'm supposed to go back to the island of the. Oh, that was great.
Well, you know what, Denise? I forgot to mark that point down for some reason. Oh well. All right, our next. All right. All right. Knock is asking, what is the score? Well, that will be Don has 6, Denise has 6, and Tim has 4. And I am still not going to disclose how many questions we have asked so far. Someone can go back and listen to the show and count it. All right. Our next question. How many years was the Winchester House under construction? Tim.
Was it 20?
20. No, that was not it. Denise or Don?
Denise.
Denise.
35?
35. No. Don, do you have an answer?
I'm going to take a shot. 50.
No, it was not 50. It was 38 years. 38 years. And you know what? I want to say thank you so much for the chat room for not throwing answers out there, by the way. Look at that. See, that's the respect we have here. I didn't even have to say anything, and they didn't do it.
Is there a delay?
What's that?
Isn't there a delay?
Well, there is, but, I mean, you know, some of you guys are taking, you know, a couple days to try to figure out the answer, and, you know, I'm sure they get, you know, the question by then, and blah, blah. No, I'm just kidding.
Well, I don't know that I would trust an answer thrown out by the chat room.
That's true. That's another good point. Well, I tell you what, let's get a couple more questions in here, and let's kind of because we do have a tie at the moment, and we'll give Tim a chance to tie it up as well if he won't. All right, here we go. So this is a Shadows in the Dark question. What was the location of Shadows in the Dark's first 24-hour broadcast? Location of Shadows in the Dark's first 24-hour broadcast. Tim?
Was it North Carolina?
North Carolina, but a little more specific. I'll take either the physical location or the name of the town. Can you give me either one of those, Tim?
Raleigh?
No, it wasn't Raleigh.
Wilmington?
No, I'm going to have to go to Denise or Don.
Don, was it a haunted theater?
No, not a haunted theater.
Okay.
No.
Was it a haunted hotel?
Okay, it was a haunted hotel, so I need the name of the hotel or the town. So, well, you already buzzed in, Tim. So, it's kind of, I think this one's kind of got a little off track. It was the Smithy Hotel, Wilkesboro, North Carolina. Smithy Hotel. Yes, Wilkesboro, North Carolina, this haunted Smithy Hotel. We actually done the broadcast right where Nike Smithy body was when they done the viewing after he passed away. All right, here we go. What English occultist called himself the Great Beast? Denise.
Aleister Crowley.
Aleister Crowley, yes. Look at there. Denise knows her Aleister Crowley. Very, very good. So we're going to end on that because that breaks the tie with Denise winning with 7 points. Don coming in second with 6. And Tim coming in third with 4. Now, I guess you would like to know, what did you win?
What did we win, Jeremiah?
What did you win?
Hey, Jeremiah, what did we win?
What did you win? Well, we'll start off with Tim. Tim, you are taking home for third place a wonderful Harry Potter booklight. Yes, a Harry Potter booklight. Are you a Harry Potter fan, Tim?
No, not really.
Okay, well, a lot of it is it has a lightning bolt on it. You can tell everybody it's your something, whatever else you want to. But it is a nice little Harry Potter booklight. So, congratulations, Tim. Which, you know what, you may already have one, actually. you probably won it during the 24-hour broadcast.
No, I didn't win one. A Harry Potter booklight? I don't think so.
Oh, okay. It's purple with a lightning bolt on it.
The only purple thing I remember was a T-shirt.
Okay, well, you have a Harry Potter booklight now. All right.
Okay.
Second place. Who got second place? That is Don. Don, you are getting a Harry Potter booklight.
Oh, nice. Actually, my wife is a huge Harry Potter fan.
Well, there you go. And you can use that Harry Potter booklight to read the book Unsolved Mysteries of History, an eye-opening investigation into the most baffling events of all time.
Ooh.
So that is your prize
Thank you very
there.
much.
Yes, so very, very nice there. And Denise.
Yes.
You don't get a Harry Potter booklight. I'm sorry.
Okay.
I apologize for that.
It's the magnet set, isn't it?
That would be funny, wouldn't it? Yes, that would.
Oh,
Okay.
that would be hilarious.
Yes, it was. So you will receive.
Just a Harry Pottery student.
You will receive Totally Bizarre. It's a book by Ripley's Believe It or Not. It is a nice, big, thick, very colorful book. Very, very nice, actually. You will also receive a Shadows in the Dark T-shirt.
Woohoo!
Which will probably make a second or third one for you.
I never have too many Shadows in the Dark T-shirts.
That's right. You know, once you have one for every day of the week, then you're good. Of course, you need a few backups in case you spill something on it. And you will also be receiving Cinema Insomnia, Episode 3, Gigantus, the Fire Monster. So, of course, our
excellent.
So our good friend Mr. Lobo.
Mr. Lobo's show.
Yes, very, very good show. And, of course, we all know Mr. Lobo's been here on numerous times. So there is your prizes. And I want to thank you all three for taking part in this. I think it was a lot of fun. And
Thank you for having us, Jeremiah.
You are welcome. And I believe I do have everybody's mailing address. If I don't, I will shoot you an email and we'll get it. And so thank you so much, and all three of you have a wonderful night, and make sure to study up on those shovel diggy people, all right?
Thanks.
All right, thanks, guys.
Good night.
Good night. All right, there we go. There was our first ever quiz show. What a lot of fun that was. That was just a blast, I have to say. They all three, Don, Denise, and Tim, done a wonderful, wonderful job and got some good prizes. I think at some point in time, you know what, we might just have to do that again. But I do hope everyone enjoyed the show tonight. Patrick Burns, make sure to check out his websites. They are linked right off of ours. The new book coming out from him, Dave Schrader, and the other author there, I can't remember the name, The Other Side. And also thanks to Don, Denise, and Tim again for participating in our first ever quiz show. Yes, I do need to get some music to go with the quiz show. But don't forget, I will be on vacation over the next few days and whatnot. The next 3 shows, they will be rebroadcast, but I do want to let you know we are working on getting a guest host for the show so that if I am away, the show will still run live. And I tell you what, there have been some wonderful responses to the email I sent out for that, and I think we're going to be working on that and hopefully have it started within the next couple of months. So, because, you know, I'll be honest with you, I feel like I cheat you guys whenever I do a lot of rebroadcasts in a row. But, you know, it is this summer, it is vacation time. We're going to visit my brother out of town, so I do apologize that we are going to be running the rebroadcast. But I know, you know, they're going to be good shows. Yeah, I know you'll enjoy them, so if you want to tune into them, please do so. But again, thank you so much, everyone. As always, it is just such a pleasure doing the show for you. I really enjoy it, and thanks to everybody who participated tonight. Well, we will see you when we come back from vacation. This has been Shadows in the Dark, where the darkness is illuminated. Good night, everyone.
Shadows in the dark.